Hello everyone, you are with Varapon Pimdeed. Welcome to People and Performance channels. Year-end performance evaluations often create resistance, especially during periods of organizational change. In this video, we explore whether organizations should still conduct performance reviews, how HR strategy must align with business strategies, and what research tells us about fairness, motivations, and performance. If you work in HR, leadership, or people management, this video will help you make better end of year decisions that support performance instead of resistance. At the end of every year, organizations face the same challenge, performance evaluations. But after a years of change, disruptions, or transformations, the real question is, should we still do it? The answer is yes, but not automatically. In our earlier discussions on organizational change, we learned that resistance happens when people experience uncertainty and unfairness. Now imagine being evaluated against goals that no longer reflect the reality you work in. There is no performance management, just misalignments. Research shows that when employees perceive performance evaluation as unfair, trust declines and resistance increases. This is why year-end performance evaluations should never be routine. It must be a strategic decision aligned with business directions and people readiness. When SR strategy align with the business strategy, performance reviews become learning conversations, not judgment sessions. They reinforce change instead of undermining it. Let's dive into why our goals no longer match realities. First, our strategy has evolved, but our metrics haven't caught up. This mismatch can make evaluation feel unfair and disconnected from our actual needs. This often leads to resistance as people feel they are being judged against the outdated standards. It's crucial we recognize this gap so we can address it constructively. As we move forward, let's consider whether our evaluations align with what we truly need to achieve this year. Let's consider a strategic questions. Are we evaluating people on what the business actually made us this year? This question is crucial as it challenges us to reflect on our evaluation processes. When our business needs evolve, our evaluation criteria should too. If our evaluations are based on outdated metrics, we risk demoralizing our teams. It's about fairness and relevance. By aligning evaluation with current needs, we ensure that everyone is recognized for their contributions to the real immediate goals. Let's explore how a robust decision framework can guide us through these transition years. First, let's focus on what we should do. A stable strategy, clear goals, and controllable outcomes are essentials. These elements keep the teams alive and motivated even amidst change. Now let's discuss the don't. Avoid making major strategy shifts without reviewing and updating KPIs. Updated metrics won't serve us well in a continuously changing environment. Also, remember the importance of goals reviews. Ignoring them can lead to misalignments and frustrations. Finally, we need to modify in the years of high uncertainty and continuous change. flexibility is key. Adjusting our approach ensures we remain responsive and relevant. By following these frameworks, we can navigate transformations successfully and support our teams effectively. As we explore the evidence behind our decision making frameworks, let's focus on three key aspects that underscore its importance. First, goal clarity. Clear goals significantly enhance motivations among team members. When everyone knows what they are aiming for, it boosts the drive and productivity. Second, fair processes. When we implement fair procedures, it reduces resistance to change. People are more likely to embrace new strategy if they believe the process respects and value their input. And finally, developmental feedback. Providing constructive feedback supports change and helping individuals grow and adapt. This feedback loops is crucial in terms of transformations. These elements not only facilitate smoother transitions but also foster a more engaged and resilient workforce. As we move forward, we will see how these principles are applied in practice. Let's delve into how theory applies in practice, focusing on four key models. First, goal setting theories by Locke and Latham emphasizes that setting clear and challenging goals enhances motivations and performance. It's important to understand how this theory can drive individuals and teams towards success. Next, we have Organizational Justice by Kuhlquist, which highlights the significance of fairness in processes. When employees perceive processes as fair, it reduces resistance to change. This is crucial in maintaining harmony during these transitions. Cottage change models follows providing an 8-step process for effective change management. It's a structured approach to ensure that change initiatives are successful. Finally, Ulrich HR business partner model stresses the role of HR in driving strategic change and supporting organizational goals. These models is key in aligning HR practices with broader organizational objectives. As we explore these theories, consider how they interconnect and support real-world applications. Let's look into why HR and business strategy connection matters, especially during periods of change. First, let's talk about an allied approach when your business reality shifts so much your HR performance approach. Here's a simple table to illustrate that alignment. The key insight here is simple but powerful. HR strategy determines how performance is evaluated based on where the business is heading. So if your organization is going through a stable period, it makes sense to stick with a traditional evaluation, clear metrics, steady expectations. But when things shift strategically, your goals need to adapt. Maybe you are pivoting directions or launching a new initiative. So your HR approach must follow suit. If you are in a transformation years, it's not just about judging outcomes. It's about focusing on development, growth, and learnings. Give people space to reflect, review what they have learned, and set forward looking goals rather than just ticking boxes. When certainty is high, like during a merger, market disruptions, or rapid expansions, continuous feedback is crucial. Employees need regular, real-time guidance, not just a once-a-year reviews. Remember, the way you approach performance management should always reflect your current business realities. Your HR strategy isn't static, it's a living, breathing response to change. That's how you keep your teams engaged, motivated, and aligned with where your organization is headed. Now let's look at a real-world application with an Alpha Tech Services case study, a mid-sized technology company. Imagine this: in January, the organization focuses on cost efficiencies, and then mid-year, the organization decides to shift its strategy to digital innovations and customer experience. However, despite the pivots, the evaluation criteria remain unchanged. This mismatch between the new direction and the old metrics led to increases frustrations among employees. This scenario highlights the gap that can occur when strategic shifts aren't aligned with evaluation processes. It's a reminder of how crucial it is to adapt our measures and expectations to fit new strategies. We must always consider the impact of our directions on those who are implementing them. It's essential to ensure alignments and clarity to maintain motivation and reduce frustrations. On these slides, we will explore the HR solution that was implemented in response to the challenges we identified. Firstly, we adjusted goals. This was crucial because it allowed us to align employee efforts with the new strategic directions. Secondly, we placed a strong emphasis on learning and adaptability by fostering a culture where continuous learning is valued. We enable our teams to better handle changes and challenges. Firstly, the initiated forward-looking conversation. This proactive approach helps guide employees in anticipating future needs rather than just reacting to past performance. These three strategies: adjusted goals, a focus on learnings, and forward-looking conversations are integral to creating a responsive and resilient workforce. Let's consider how these elements can be applied in your own context. Let's focus on the key takeaway here. You don't manage performance by measuring the past. You manage it by preparing for the future. This statement challenges the traditional mindset of performance management. Instead of dealing solely on past metrics, we encourage a forward-thinking approach. The idea is to equip our teams with the skills and adaptability they need for future challenges. Engaging in forward-looking conversation fosters growth and innovations. It's about creating a proactive rather than reactive cultures. As we move forward, remember this key takeaway as a guiding principle for cultivating a dynamic and resilient workforce. I have included the HR year-end performance evaluation alignment checklist for you to review your strategic alignments, assess team readiness, ensure fairness, and conduct process checks to inform your decision making. Performance evaluation should adapt to strategy and change. The next big question is this: How do leaders and HR build trust and psychological safety so performance conversation don't trigger fears but fuel growth? That's exactly what we will explore in the next videos. Thanks for tuning in. If you found this useful, don't forget to like and subscribe to People and Performance channels for more practical HR insights. I look forward to seeing you in the next videos.